All right, it is time to spend 5 days and 1,000 miles living and traveling out of my 24 Tacoma. Let's see how this goes. If you don't know, here is the current build. I have Lock off-road wheels with Arroyo tires as a 33-inch tire and a zero offset wheel. I have Cali raised rock sliders on the bottom to get rid of those terrible Predator steps, which are right there. And then I have Cali raised 360 lighting and premium roof rack install. This folds down and reveals that big 42-inch light bar right there. This stuff is all pretty awesome. And then kind of just a generic rooftop tent. This tent is actually technically unbranded. I got it from someone who worked at like the landing facility. So there's a bunch of different companies that put their name on this tent, but got this tent and this rack for 800 bucks, which is like a crazy deal. So that's the current camping setup on the back, along with a Domenico hydration faucet that I can set up, and that takes water from a little container all the way back there. Then I have a 1,000 watt hour super cheap little battery bank charging off the back of the truck back here. So that's always charging, and then that powers my fridge back here. So I can open this up and get to all my goodies and whatnot. Yeah, other than that, just a big camping tote with all my crap in it, some RC cars for fun, tools in case you need them, and we should be ready to go. I've spent the better part today packing, so I'm gonna take a shower and then get on the road. I do technically have 3 days to get there and only a day or maybe 2 days to get back, so we'll see how this goes. Oh yeah, I didn't even say where we're going. We're going to Mogfest, baby. One of the coolest off-road events around the US, maybe the world, I don't know, definitely the US. One of my favorite, if not my favorite event that I've ever gone to. So we're going to that, got a whole bunch of people going. It's gonna be a super good time. We're gonna off-road the 24 Tacoma, see how it does. Or who knows, maybe the hated 4-cylinder turbo in the 24 Tacoma will blow up and I will regret all my buying decisions and just wish I bought a 3rd gen. All right, and we are on the way. Got about 4.5 hours right now that I'm gonna drive. And honestly, one of the things that this truck does incredibly well, especially for a truck, is long road trips. Not only is the fuel mileage pretty incredible for a truck, I get about 22 with all the modifications that I've done for it. I was getting closer to 24, 25 before. The adaptive cruise control system on this truck is amazing. It has the adaptive cruise control, so it keeps the speed that you set it at or off the person in front of you if they're going slower than the speed you set it at. And then it also has lane centering, so it literally drives itself. You have to, let it know that you're there with the steering wheel every once in a while, but other than that, it'll drive to where you are going, which is really nice. It takes that long fatigue off, or takes the fatigue off of those long hours whenever you're driving for 1,000 miles like I'm doing right now. Yeah, I have to get out of the Tahoe Mountains, and then it's going to be a pretty straight shot north from there. So yeah, just getting this trip started. To point out, this is also day number 1, Wednesday of this trip, and I should be ending it on a Monday. It might be next Tuesday, so we'll see. This is going to be the longest and most miles and most time I've spent in this truck by far. It only has 6,000 miles, so I'm going to be putting 1/7 of the total mileage on this truck in the next 5 days here. 5-6 days, we'll see. All right, we're about an hour in. There's a little pull off here I've always wanted to stop at, so I think we're going to stop real quick. All right, got a little snack and a little drink for the rest of the drive. That is a very pretty view. But my current ETA is 10:32 p.m., which is not ideal. I don't like driving at night in like not very populated areas just because deer, they love to run out in front of you. Make some progress on this big old journey. Big old journey. On the road again. I just can't get out on the road again. You can see on a road like this, the car is, I gotta shake the steering wheel every once in a while, but it is literally driving itself, which just makes these kind of road trips so much easier. And look at that. Woo! It is so pretty out there. We are slowly making our way north. I'm about another hour in, about to get some Chipotle just for something easy to eat tonight. And then just straight shot to camp. Keep wondering what highway this is. Luckily, it really wants me to know. We're driving on the 70, and it is beautiful. Central California is crazy. Freaking 91 degrees outside at 8 p.m. Gotta love it, but we're at Chipotle. Reminds me of being on the road again. And that's why I don't wear white. All right, 2 hours and 40-ish minutes to go. And we are just whole shotting it the rest of the way. Get there as soon as possible so I can zonk out, go to bed, and wake up. First gas station fill up of the trip. We are averaging 21.2 miles per gallon, and we're about 250 miles into the trip. So not too bad for my first day. I did leave a day early, so I got an extra day to play around with here. Yeah, 250 miles in, almost to camp. Almost to camp. So there's a couple positives and negatives I want to talk about with this truck, but one of the big ones is that even at 20 miles per gallon on the highway right now, we only have 250 miles of range. Now, I road trip a lot and I've owned 8 or 9 cars now. 250 miles of range is the lowest amount of range I've ever had. That was lower than my Vanagon. They got like 15, 16 miles per gallon. So that is like borderline and unacceptable. The tank size is 18 gallons. So kind of borderline unacceptable range, if I'm being completely honest. They really need to put a bigger tank on this thing. Not only is it pretty annoying for road trips, at least the kind of road trips that I do, because I'm driving 1,000 miles, that kind of deal, but it kind of gets annoying on the everyday as well, because before I know I had to fill up the truck again and it feels like I've barely driven at all. Especially because around town it gets like 15, 16 miles per gallon, much lower because my town is my town is the worst scenario for miles per gallon that I currently live in. So I get like 180 miles of range whenever I'm driving around town, which is nothing. It's such a small tank. So that is one of the first things that needs to be fixed, or that I'm not a huge fan of on the Tacoma. Absolutely love this truck overall. I think it's amazing, but that's for the first thing. There's a couple other things I'll get to later, and one thing that's already broken on this truck that I will show you guys in just a bit, a little later in the video, because it's all dark right now. Anyways, rant over. I am so tired. We got about an hour left of this drive, and then it's time to sleep. All right, 11 p.m. and I've decided on doing an actual campsite tonight instead of a just like a boondocking spot, but we'll see if they actually have spots. Turn on my sweet 360 lights right there. There we go. Tent sites. Ooh, 53 bucks. Damn, that's steep. All right. And we are ready to go. I'm telling you, these 360 lights on the sides of the roof rack are awesome for seeing everything at night. All right, site 65. And we are home. Wow, this looks like a group campsite. There's so many campsites around here, and they only had the group sites listed, which is kind of funny. All right. Oh, that was a lot of driving. Look at that Tacoma. See, this is kind of what the 360 lights do. You can see everything around camp. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a group site, which is kind of annoying because there was a bunch of normal campsites totally available, but they didn't have them listed. One of the bad things about rooftop tent, if you've been driving for a while, kind of sucks to have to set it up at, it's like 11 o'clock right now. So set up the tent and then get in bed. I'm exhausted. That felt like a very long drive. Driving at night always makes it seem longer because there's not much to see. All right, just got everything plugged into my little battery here, my fan and the lights for the tent, and it is pretty cozy in here. All right, crawling into bed here. One of the nice things about there not being anyone else around me is I have basically this whole upper campground to myself, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, I added these super cheap, just Amazon lights to the tent the other day that just run off that battery that I showed you, and they make this little tent pretty homey. It's actually not a little tent. This is technically the XL, so it's pretty big. But yeah, I am absolutely loving it. Like I said, I'm exhausted. I'm going to talk about that problem that the Tacoma's been having. It's super annoying and also like very, very predictable. But talk about that in the morning. See you guys in the morning. Good night. The sun is up and the day is anew. Man, it's a good looking truck. So pretty. And this is the problem that I was alluding to earlier. Let's see. There you go, it works. this is already starting to break. Battery that's running the fridge is still at 100%, and the one that runs the tent is at 87%. So yes, my power tailgate that was already super gimmicky is already freaking broken. I had kind of had this problem once or twice before, but I was like, oh, maybe it didn't close right, maybe something got in the way. Right before I left for this trip, we were trying to let the dog out of the back of the truck, and it would not come open, and it had done that thing where it would kind of unlatch and then latch real quick, maybe once or twice in the past, and then right before literally as I was leaving for this trip, we were letting the dog out of the back, and it wouldn't open until I pulled on it. Sorry, Bodes. You're stuck in there forever.
I guess you're going on the voice track.
I haven't even checked if there's like a failsafe yet. There we go. Just had to pull it down. So yeah, I've been saying since I got the truck, people always think that the power tailgate is really cool, but if I could have chosen, I would have chosen just a normal tailgate because it drops down faster and there's nothing that can break. I knew that would eventually break. I just didn't know it would break at 6,000 miles, which is kind of crazy. Even more annoying, right before I went on this trip, I went to the Toyota dealer. So if it had happened before, like 2 days ago, I could have gotten it fixed at the Toyota dealer under warranty. But now I gotta go on this 1,000-mile trip, deal with it the whole time, go back, and then I live like an hour or something away from the nearest Toyota dealership, so I gotta drive an hour, drive back. It's gonna be a whole freaking ordeal. You know, there's a pretty complex mechanism in there for it to close and latch itself, and with all the off-roading that I do and the really vibrating trails and whatnot, it's just like, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way that thing is gonna last. Yeah, that is the first thing to break on my new 24 Tacoma. Something else that's kind of weird is, mine has a sunroof. Again, if I could have chosen, I would not have the sunroof. I'd never use it in this extra complexity. But funny thing, your visor with the sunroof, the sunroof sticks down a pretty decent amount. You can see how much it sticks down right there compared to where the normal roof line is up there. And whenever you open your visor, if I can do it with my left hand, it runs into the top of the roof pretty substantially. Like, it's kind of hard to move sometimes, and I feel like I'm gonna mess up this fabric over time, because it is literally like it's rubbing on the roof pretty freaking hard. So I don't know if they just didn't do testing with the sun visor in the fully extended position and the sunroof model, but yeah, that's another funny quirk of this first generation vehicle. Anyways, we're getting back on the road. I have another 4.5 hours until I hit the coast. Kind of decided, since I do have an extra day, I'm going to drive up to the coast, do the coast trip, which I absolutely love, try to find a beach to drive on, and then I'll head to where I'm going, because where I'm going is only an hour from the coast. So it's going to add a significant amount of time to my drive, but honestly, I love driving up the coast so much, whatever, and I cannot wait to have this truck on the coast. So yeah, my day of driving begins. And we're back on the road again. More driving for Riley, more driving for me. Luckily, I'm in a Tacoma that's not a 2023. There's Shasta. Oh, it's pretty. All right, 4 hours to go to the coast, and I'm gonna drive a couple hours up the coast. Got my coffee, a little bit of a snack, a little bit of a breakfast, and we're cruising. The truck's just driving itself. So I'm sitting here. Yep, I'm gonna sit here for another couple hours while the car drives me west. And we should be seeing the ocean today, which is exciting. Haven't seen the ocean in a while since I live in the mountains now. There's the ocean, baby! Oh man, look at that. It is such a beautiful day today. I could not ask for a better day. It is so beautiful today. It's like 70 degrees, which is unheard of out here, and no clouds, which is just so freaking awesome. Could not have looked out any better on the weather. Oh. Come down. Hey, it didn't break. Look at that. All right. I need one of these and one of these bad boys. I just wanted to get the drive out of the way, so your boy is hungry. Sandwich by the ocean, it's hard to beat. Man, is it humid here. living in the mountains where it's regularly single-digit humidity, and then coming to the coast, it's like, I feel like I'm wearing a coat of moisture. It's kind of gross. Ugh. I'm really looking forward to the rest of this drive though. It's only along the coast all the way up. It's going to be so pretty, views like this, and with this weather, one of my favorite drives in the world. It works. All right, a little bit of lunch, and now I have another 4-hour drive, but up the coast, and we'll hopefully be hitting the beach before sunset tonight, but we'll see. If I have an hour of leeway, if I don't make that hour, then it will be dark by the time I get there, so I don't know, we'll see. So this road right here has kind of a fun story to it. About 4 years ago, I had my 99 CRV, and I really wasn't into camping or anything by then. This is before I did van life, before I did anything. And me and my girlfriend were in my CRV driving this road, doing this road trip, and just camping along the way. And it was like so fun. It was one of the most fun road trips that I had been on. One of the only road trips I had been on at the time, which is crazy considering now I've driven like 100,000 miles over the last couple of years. So yeah, that trip on this road was one of the trips that made me fall in love with traveling and camping and doing what I'm doing today. I didn't really do this kind of stuff before those first couple camping trips that we did through Oregon and Washington, and every single time I drive on this road, like I said, this is one of my favorite drives. It reminds me of that. I'm like, oh, that's so crazy. But yeah, this road is so freaking beautiful. Even though it's kind of a long drive, still got 3.5 hours. It usually goes by pretty quick because you're just looking at all the scenery the entire time, and it helps that, again, the truck can drive itself. Oh my god, it's like 5 hours later, but I think I'm at the beach. Oh wow, look at that. Ooh, no way. Oh my god, we made it. Oh, look at that. So sick. There we go. Look at how pretty this is out here. The truck looks so freaking good. Man, this is my first time ever here. Oh man. This thing needs to get fixed. Oh, that's so annoying. Man, that was so cool. I forgot to film a good amount just because this is technically kind of work because I'm taking pictures for Cali Raised and Lock Off-Road Wheels because they want pictures of all the new products for the 24 Tacoma. So that's a huge part of the reason why I went to that spot. I really wanted to just take these amazing pictures that stood out against anything else any other creator is doing because I really appreciate these companies working with me. As you know, I'm not the biggest creator. I'm a little bit smaller still. And but they've put their support and their trust into me to make good content and to provide for them. So I was like, I'm gonna go out there and just make some awesome content and some awesome pictures. So I'll throw some of the pictures up right now using the actual camera, not just my phone. But they came out so I can already tell they're gonna be so good. They looked amazing whenever I was taking them. That spot is incredible. I'm not going to share the spot because it's not set up for tourism or any sort of infrastructure, but man, I am so happy. The drive was a little rough today. It's been 17 hours driving in the last 2 days, but the drive up the coast is beautiful, and that was all the worth it. It was just so amazing. But anyways, it is now 9 p.m. and I was thinking about camping around here, but honestly, Mogfest is only an hour and a half away. I did get lost whenever I left the beach, so I'm headed to the nearest town right now to get service so I can get directions. But yeah, it's only an hour and a half away, so I'm just gonna go to Mogfest and camp there and hopefully find some friends who are still awake. So yeah, that's the plan. Oh, and we are at Mogfest. Let's go. Trusting the seat. Oh yeah. Woo! Parker's going through the mud pit. We're gonna see if he can make it.
Yeah.
Oh, windows up.
Windows up?
Yes. So I would just floor it off the bat before your tires get caked up. Yeah, so that's the exhaust. So brake, and then let's just get a winch on it so we don't have to back up.
Okay. No, because I don't want to plug these out yet.
I thought about that as we drove in.
Yeah, yeah. Woo! It's a little deep right there. And plug the exhaust. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh my God.
Right here.
I got so muddy.
Here.
Thank you. So the second I got to Mogfest, it got kind of crazy and I forgot to film. But basically, a lot of my Washington friends came down and experienced Mogfest for the first time. Like I said, this is my favorite event of the year, so I wanted them to come. And Parker brought his 80 Series diesel Land Cruiser JDM import, which is awesome. So we did a lot of off-roading in that. But yeah, this is the first night, Friday night, that they came and kind of just enjoying each other's company and getting ready for the day ahead of us.
Boydo.
How are you?
Good morning, my sunshine.
Are you?
Which turned out to be pretty wet. Mogfest got rain for the first time in a decade, and it got pretty crazy.
Woohoo! God damn.
Oh my God.
Saturday
So we have
morning.
more
The boys got
coverage.
in last night. It was very fun. You have fun?
I
had a blast.
Very fun. And there's thunder this morning. It's supposed to rain.
Thunder.
There's thunder.
Thunder.
And I look like I look like I've never brushed my hair. It is raining. Nothing like yogurt right in the morning.
Not so bad actually getting out of that.
It is coming down. Dude, we gotta empty this.
The ball sack.
Woo! It's only been raining for like 10 minutes. This is crazy. Oh, my tent! The drain is super close to being in my tent.
I was like off in that fucking field. Or not in the field, but like, you see the shot at the
Well, the tent's looking pretty waterproof. I think. Eventually, though, the rain cleared and we decided it was time to take the Land Cruiser into the pits and see what it can do off-road. This thing is so awesome. And yeah, after such a long drive, it was about 18 hours after everything, it was fun to hang out with my friends and just have some fun off-roading. Yeah, no problem. Oh man, that's so awesome.
Oh, he's in the mud.
Oh god. That's why you got the seatbelts on. Oh, it's scraping. All of Saturday night, we kind of just enjoyed Mogfest. It was super, super wet, and I showed them around, got some rides and some Unimogs, as you saw, and then we woke up on Sunday morning. Now I'm kind of realizing I didn't film any of the journey home. I was so tired. I just straight shotted it in one day all the way back home, and it was a long journey. Mogfest was so fun. I'm glad I did it, but the Tacoma did well besides that one problem, and the video picks up with me back in my garage. And look at that, 1,300 miles and 31 hours of driving time over the last 5 days. That is not only the biggest trip I've done in the truck so far, that is one of the biggest trips that I've done in a long time in that short of a time frame. But truck did absolutely amazing besides that tailgate issue, which seems to have gotten a little bit better. Did really well. The self-driving, especially on the way back, I had it go all the way back. I was getting so tired of driving. Like 31 hours in the car, in the truck over 5 days is a lot. But, you know, it's a day and a half almost. So yeah, truck did really well. Like you saw, I got to off-road it a little bit at the end of Mogfest, and it did basically everything, which was pretty sweet. I just got high centered, which is going to be solved by a lift kit. It sits pretty freaking low right now, so got to get a lift kit, maybe some bumpers at some point once they actually come out, and exhaust, and I think this thing is going to be pretty freaking sweet. I'm so happy with it so far. So much better. Road trips like that make me so glad I got the 4th gen instead of the 3rd gen, because of all the technology. Like the interior ride quality is much better as well. The sound deadening in there is much better. It's much quieter, and the cruise control just makes a world of a difference. I mean, that's a lot of the reason that especially people like me buy different vehicles, is because of the cruise control that they come with, and the cruise control with this is probably some of the best you can get out there right now. But anyways, short little not crazy video of road tripping the Tacoma. Thank you guys very much for watching. That was a long trip, so much fun though. Mogfest is my favorite event ever, especially after this trip, 2nd year in a row, and too much fun. But anyways, I'm tired as hell. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.